Did you wake up one morning and suddenly think to yourself, where has my waist gone? And what has happened to my belly? Girlfriend, I know the feeling because I felt the exact same way. One day I was feeling great. The next day I woke up and I had another 3 inches around my belly. And I was like, what on earth am I going to wear to cover this up? And what am I going to do to change it? So in this video, I am going to share with you the tips that come from some of the top menopause experts about how you can do some things to help your belly. And then I'm going to share with you how the right clothing can make such a massive difference to how you feel as you navigate this process. The first thing is to recognize that when we hit perimenopause and menopause, all of this, girlfriend, the waist disappearing, the extra belly fat, all the weird and crazy symptoms are completely normal. In fact, every woman who goes through perimenopause and menopause, which will be every single woman who is alive, is going to go through some form of this. So first of all is to just recognize, take a deep breath. You are not crazy. This is not just happening to you. Lots of us are going through it. And luckily now we are all talking about it. Thank you to those of us who are the Gen Xers who are really getting out there and talking about it, because this is so important. You are not alone. The second most important thing is now to come to terms with or decide what is it that you can control and what is it that you cannot control. Oh, I know this is tough because it's not really a decision. It's actually a determination. It's a what can I control and what can I not control? Well, what you cannot control is that you are going to go through perimenopause and menopause. That is not a question. If you are alive, you're going to go through it. You cannot control that you are going to go through body changes. There's no doubt about that. But what you can control, and this is the good news, what you can control is how you choose to deal with it and the clothes that you wear in the process. So stick with me in this series because we're going to talk about those two things, the things that you can do, and I'm going to share with you from some of the top experts in the menopause space that share with us how we can do some things to positively affect our body changes. And then I'm going to share with you the power of clothing because, girlfriend, let me tell you, I'm seeing it in my own life and I'm seeing it in my client's life, and I'm so excited for you to see it too. For more tips like these, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. When I hit perimenopause and gained an extra 3 inches around my waist, I was like, what can I do about this, right? I want to fix it. So I went and did a whole bunch of research to understand what was going on and what are the lifestyle changes that I can make to make my belly fat go down and get my body a little bit more back to what I was hoping for, right? And I'm used to. Now, I went and did a ton of research, all different experts. I watched a ton of videos, and they will vary on opinions on various different aspects. However, there are 3 things that I found they all agree upon, and I'm going to share that with you. Number 1, you need to increase your protein. So whether you are vegan like I am, whole food plant-based, whether you are a meat-eating person, whether you are pescatarian, whatever the case is, we need to eat more protein. And actually I found it's easier than you think. Now, it does take a little bit of planning, and yes, you can do it. You do need to be dedicated to it, but it's so important because it helps us to build strength and it does reduce the belly fat. Number 2, this is a tough one. You're gonna have to pick up heavy weights. I mean heavy weights, girlfriend, because those pamby-bamby weights are not gonna do the trick. You need to start lifting half of your body weight. At least, okay, not all in one go. Anyway, check the experts. Dr. Stacy Sims is my absolute favorite on exercise for perimenopause and menopause. She's fantastic. So go and check her out. But I realized that as much as I love dancing and yoga, weight training had to become my focus. Number 3, and this is a little bit contentious, it has been for a long time, but having gone to all these conferences and listened to top experts in the menopause field, HRT is not as scary or as dangerous as we thought. In fact, it can be really, really, really good for you. Plus, it really can help with the belly fat. It definitely has with mine. Now, this is a lesson that I learned from Dr. Mary Claire Haver, is that if your OBGYN is not up to date with the latest research on perimenopause and menopause, go to the Menopause Association website. I will put the link in the description, and look for an OBGYN in your area who is part of the Menopause Association. That way they have the latest information and they can help you decide whether HRT is possible for you. Also, just check and see whether those providers are covered by your insurance. I found a fantastic one. I've referred her several times. She's here in New York. By the way, if you do want a referral, let me know. But she was amazing for me, and my friends and my clients have absolutely loved her. So it's worth looking around for somebody who knows what they're talking about in this specific menopause time. Now we're going to talk about how the clothing that you choose to wear during perimenopause and menopause can make a massive difference with how you're feeling about your body today. We spoke about how you can change your lifestyle, the lifestyle changes that can help you to make your belly shrink again. Okay, so you cannot dress, exercise, diet, that kind of thing. Like, I'm just gonna say it. We do need to do that from a health perspective and from an energy perspective and all of the things. However, any of the changes that you plan to make or any of the changes that you are making now are gonna take some time. I have found that. Like, I changed my diet, I exercise, I'm doing weight training, I've gone on to HRT. All of these things have taken time. Yes, they have worked for me. Yes, I feel like I'm starting to come back to some semblance of the body I used to have, although it still has changed. My body shape has changed, and I actually quite like it, as long as I just don't have this extra around my belly. But the thing is that clothing helps you in that process. So think about it. If you get up in the morning and you go to get dressed and the things that you normally feel good in don't work for you anymore, they don't zip up, they're not flattering, how do you feel? Not great. If you keep on trying to find something in your closet that's going to fit, you've got like 5 different sizes in your closet and still you're not finding anything that flatters you because your body has changed, how do you feel? Not great. So this is the challenge. One of the things that you can control is the clothing that you choose to wear. So instead of trying to squeeze into something that doesn't work for you, or maybe even another extreme would be to wear a big black sack, girlfriend, to find clothes that suit the shape that you have now and today, clothing that adapts to your body changes as you're going through these changes, that is going to make a huge difference to how you feel. It made a massive difference for me as I was going on to QVC and in front of 7 different cameras and had often felt very self-conscious. I figured out what was working and I started feeling better. My body hadn't changed. My body was still doing the yo-yo thing and I still had the extra 3 inches, but it made a massive difference in how I felt. I have heard this from my clients. In fact, you know what I've heard, girlfriend? They even start losing weight. Why? Because they're not obsessing. I find what we obsess about and we try so hard to control sometimes can elude us, even with the lifestyle changes. So this is what I want to encourage you to do. Try and find some items of clothing that are going to work well for your body today. Now, if you don't know what those are, hang tight with me because I'm going to share some tips with you that I think are going to completely blow your mind and move the needle and help you to look and feel fabulous today. For my expert tips on how to dress during perimenopause and menopause so that you feel good about yourself, I'm going to focus most of the attention on the belly because that tends to be our biggest bugbear when we go through perimenopause and menopause. So Number one, on how to disguise your belly versus trying to hide it. Now, disguising is really the main thing because when we try and hide or cover up, we tend to go big and baggy and long to try and cover everything up. And you know what, girlfriend? It doesn't work. It actually can make you look big everywhere. Disguising, however, is more strategic. So it's like magic, where a magician goes, look over here while I'm doing something over here, and you're not even noticing. The same is true with your belly. Look at this dress as an example. What are you looking at? What is the main focus? I guarantee you the focus is not on my belly. The focus would be on my waist because that is where I've placed the emphasis. That is where I've placed the belt. And I've got this tie going here with the tie going down the body so it elongates, makes me look taller, makes me look slimmer. And where is your eye going? Definitely not to my belly. So you see, it's about disguising, not trying to hide. For tip number 2 on how to disguise your belly while going through perimenopause and menopause is to wear items of clothing that exaggerate a waist. That's even if you don't have a waist anymore, or you feel like you don't have a waist anymore. You can use strategic clothing and items to make it appear like you do. And what that does is it draws attention to that as opposed to this. Plus, if you have something wearing it open, you can draw the eye down the body, and drawing the eye down the body de-emphasis from across the body. I mean, what are you noticing in this outfit? I guarantee you're not looking directly at my belly. And so that is the thing. It's about, again, placing emphasis where you want it to be and de-emphasizing the parts where you don't want it to be. This is the trick, girlfriend. For tip number 3 on how to disguise your belly during perimenopause and menopause is to wear printed fabrics. Now, I know that you have heard from many stylists who have said, oh no, go smaller with your prints if at all, go with very neutral colors. I completely disagree with that, and I'll tell you why. Because prints tend to disguise a multitude of things, including, but most importantly, the belly. And I've tried a lot of those. Now, can you wear solid colors? Yes, you can. But when you wear solid colors, you have to have the right fabric. It has to be the right shape. You have to make sure you wear the right underwear. It's all of the things. Often have to wear shapewear underneath. And I don't know about you, girlfriend, but I am not into wearing shapewear on an ongoing basis. Like maybe for a special occasion once in a while. But definitely, I do not want to be uncomfortable every day. No, I say no to that. So what you want to do is you want to wear prints in shapely styles. So as an example, a wrap dress is a perfect example of that. One that fits nicely in the waist and flares out. Sure, it can be longer if you don't want to show so much leg. I like showing leg. Also, another way of detracting attention from the belly. It's all about shape. Not tight, but shape, and let the print do its magic. My user Melanie Bly asked the question, how can I balance a larger bust and disguise my belly without it looking all so baggy? So for tip number 4, we're going to talk about that very thing. If you have a larger bust, if you are blessed in the girls department, then it is so important for you to make sure that you get the right shape and a size bra that's going to give you the support. And I'll tell you why. Listen, it's important for all of us to have the right shape and the right size bra, and that can change a lot during perimenopause and menopause. I did a whole video series on that, so you can check it out. But what is so important about the belly is that often what happens is that it feels like the belly and the bust just become all one. If your girls are hanging at a very low level, that is definitely going to happen. However, if you're wearing the right bra that gives you the proper support, you're going to find you're actually going to get more of a waist, sometimes 2 inches extra of waist that you can then define to then disguise your belly. You can create an illusion of a waist even if you don't have a waist as such. So this is the thing, girlfriends. Go ahead, and I've done this in workshops with permission from somebody, is I've gone in and picked up a bra strap and pulled it up and noticed the massive difference. The whole audience was like, oh, they were aghast because they couldn't believe what a difference it makes when you have the right bra. So go and check that you have the right size bra, and that is going to make a huge difference in helping you disguise your belly. For more tips like these, make sure to subscribe to this channel and like this video. And hey, if you've got any other questions, put it in the chat because maybe I'll do a video on your question. I'll see you soon, girlfriend.